DreAllDay.com.
What up, everybody? Dre Baldwin, Dre All Day. We're going to get right into this Q&A. This will be Q&A number 6. Today is Friday, February the 14th. It's about 12:30 p.m. Eastern. All the comments are closed as of this date. So if you leave a comment on Q&A 5 after that time, or if you left one, I will not get to it. You got to leave it in the comments to this video, and I'm going to answer it next week, as long as y'all keep coming with good questions. Now, first thing, before we get into this, we're working on some merchandise we want to put out, but I need to know what kind of stuff y'all want. Like, we got the shirts. As far as the shirts go, there's different logos. Like, we got the WOYFG, which, for those that don't know, is work on your fucking game with the F. And then we got the WOYG, and then we got the shirts that actually spell out work on your game. Which ones are y'all interested in? All three? Any certain ones? Please let me know. What type of shirts? Short sleeves, like t-shirts like I got on, like tank tops, hoodies, sweatshirts. What are you looking for? Tell me what type of shirts y'all be interested in, and also the hats. Y'all see me wear that hat with the WOYG on it. Y'all interested in the work on your game hat, the WOYFG hat, a different design, a snapback, a fitted hat. Tell me what type of merchandise you'd be interested in, males and females, and also price points. Like, what do you want to pay for this stuff? Because I can't guarantee I can get the price that you want, but I want to know what the consumers, I want to know what y'all want before I go get it, because I don't want to go make it and then think it is great and then nobody want the shit. So I need to know what y'all want, because I'm about to get a good amount of merchandise, and we're going to put some good stuff out there for those of you who want it. If you don't want it, it's cool, but just let me know, those of you who are interested, what type of hats, what logo, the WOYFG, the WOYG, or the whole work on your game spelled out in words on the shirts and on the hats. And we got some other stuff coming too. So that's that. Leave those in the comments to this video too. And of course, leave your questions. We're going to get right into this. As usual, I have not read any of these comments. I'm just going to go straight through, read them right now, and we're going to answer these questions to the best of my ability. So here we go. First question. Kurti Corner Singh says, who I think is the most clutch player in the NBA right now and in NBA history? Clutch player in the NBA right now, I had to go with Kobe, even though he's not playing. I'll say Kobe if I had to just go right off the top of my head who I'm picking. In NBA history, I don't know. I haven't seen all NBA history, but if I had to pick one guy, I'm going to go with Jordan. Mike Jordan on the last shot. Nick Leather said he was interested in getting the jump manual, but he saw that Hoop Handbook had a vertical one. He's wondering if he uses both, will they get better results to do the enter one. The vertical jump Hoop Handbook is a shorter program. It's more of a, compared to the jump manual, is way shorter. The jump manual is a complete 12-week program. So the jump manual will be more of a full program. If you're looking to do completely overhaul your vertical, also work on your explosion, your speed, all of that stuff goes into the jump manual program. The thing is, Nick, also I have a free offer with the jump manual. That if you get the jump manual, you can get 5 free hoop handbooks in which you can include the vertical jump program. Do I advise on you doing both at the same time? No, do not do both at the same time. You only do one at a time. More is not more in training. Less is more for the most part. So if you're going to do one, you probably should do the jump manual. Take advantage of my free offer, which is on my website at DreAllDay.com/jump-higher. DreAllDay.com/jump-higher. That explains the exact offer, what it is. So you got a few choices if you get the jump manual. Few things that I'm offering you in exchange for getting the jump manual. So go look at that page and you'll see your choices. So you're better off doing it that way than getting whatever free programs you wish. Eric G says, what I think of Jeremy Lin, what I think his weaknesses and strengths are. Do I think I'm better than him? And his opinion is that I'm a better ball handler than him. I think Jeremy Lin is really good. I mean, after he came out, you know, the whole Linsanity, he was killing, and then he fell back from that, but he was so high up with that, people was looking at him like, oh, Jeremy Lin's not good anymore. But Jeremy Lin's really fucking good. I think he's a great player. He's a great scorer, either as a starter or off the bench, and he's excellent in the pick and roll, especially when he's attacking off the pick and roll, looking to score. He's really good at that. Do I think I'm better than him? No, I don't. I don't think I'm better than any player who is with NBA experiences. I don't have any NBA experience. It's just a principle of mine. Until or unless you're in the league, you can't say you're better than somebody in the league. That's just a principle of mine until I play against that player, no matter what they did on TV or how much they don't play or whatever anybody thinks. What I think his weaknesses and strengths are, besides what I just told you, that's pretty much it. And thank you for thinking I'm a better ball handler than him. But there's really no measure for ball handling. It's all a matter of opinion. So I appreciate you having that favorable opinion of me, Eric. Crowd Davidson says, am I still addicted to Gatorade? Crowd was never addicted to Gatorade. I just drank a lot of it, but I don't drink Gatorade anymore. But if you see Gatorade in any of my videos from here on out, it's just because I recorded it before I stopped drinking Gatorade. Skinny Shack says he's been a viewer for a while. He can't afford the jump manual. Can I tell him another way or some drills to increase your vertical? Skinny Shack, go to my channel, go to the playlist, and I have an entire playlist of vertical jump exercises, drills, and workouts, which will cost you absolutely nothing. Peter Nothoff says, am I going to stick with the Dre Stories channel? He loves that channel, and he says if I stick with it, the views will increase. Maybe advertise the channel at the end of my videos. Well, Peter, thank you for offering your advice. I don't need it. The Dre Stories channel, I put out a story on that channel. For those of you who don't know, that's one of my other YouTube channels where I tell stories from my life, maybe basketball related, maybe not. But they're only going to be interesting stories. I don't put no boring stories up there. Peter, the only time I put stories on that channel is when I come up with one and I record it. So it's not like every day I'm going to have a new story on there. So whenever I come up with a story that I think of that I want to share, I put it out there. If I don't have a story and I go 6 months without having a story, then for 6 months it won't be a video on that channel. But I'm not concerned with promoting it or making the views increase. I just put the stories out there. If people want to watch them, they will. If they don't, they don't. But I appreciate you liking them, Peter. Vladimir says, what's my philosophy for on the ball defense? Do you play positional, or do you gamble for steals, or a mixture? It's not a mixture of both of those. The philosophy of defense is stay between man and the ball. Ideally, the possession doesn't end until the defensive team has the ball, and that's it. Don't let your man score. The whole offense is to score. Goal with defense is to stop them from scoring. The goal of the game is to have more points. Those are only 3 things you need to know about basketball. All that extra detailed shit, it just confuses people because they start trying to do stuff that don't even make no sense. If you just stick to those 3 objectives, you can be good at basketball. Saraku 15. He says, how many times I work out Maria per week? Depends on whenever we get together. There's no set amount of times. Given that I do a lot of different workouts and stuff, how are the workouts effective if you don't do them on a consistent basis? Well, you can look at my performance on the court and you can tell me. And he says he knows everyone isn't the same, but for many, if one were to stop doing something for a long time, they wouldn't be as efficient if they did it on a daily basis. So I don't know if he's asking me a question or he's trying to give me some advice, but sorry, Saraku, I don't need your advice. Next question. Miss Star says, do you have any things you personally like to do to help defy the mind when it tells you to eat even though you know you shouldn't? No, mister, I don't have that problem. So if you have a problem with the mind telling you to eat when you know you shouldn't, then you just need to work on your willpower. But I cover that in my motivational and mental game playlist, which is almost 200 videos, which is also on my channel. So if you go to my channel and you look through those videos, I'm sure you'll find plenty of stuff on willpower and controlling yourself from yourself, protecting yourself from yourself. Also wrote 2 books, The Mental Handbook and The Mirror of Motivation, which also covered similar topics. The Affiliates Project says, why didn't I answer his question he posted on the first day? It was probably a whack-ass question. B-Baller AZ says, did you put basketball first? Did I put basketball first or education? I don't think I really put either first. I mean, I did a combination of both. I got my education and I played ball. So I wouldn't say I had to put one in front of the other. You could do a combination of both. You just got to manage your time and effort and energy and your focus. Anton Ha says, I'm good when I play against people I know, like my friends, but when I play in an open gym against random people, I get nervous. I turn the ball over. What do I need to do to play against everybody the same way at a high level? Go to my website, dreallday.com. Click on the link that says guides and tips, and I have written detailed guides about that. Players who play well in certain situations, such as practice or alone, but you don't play well in other situations, such as games or against people whom you don't know. So I have covered that on my website, dreallday.com. Zach says, what's the best way to get better without access to a gym? Go to a court that's outside. B Soprano 2123. He says, where's the basketball court with the best competition that I've ever played a pickup game at? The best competition ever would probably be at the University of Miami when I played pickup ball with a bunch of NBA players, but I was pretty much the only dude in the gym who wasn't in the league. That was the best competition, but that was a certain time thing. It's not like they there every day or every week. It was a certain time period when they were there, and I was there, and that was that, and that was over. Maybe it'll happen again, maybe not. Z Mischievous says, how much can I bench, squat, and deadlift? How much does the bar weigh? That's about how much I could bench, squat, and deadlift. It's not the real answer, but that's all you need to know. Sylvia Whitehead says, I tried out for middle school, made it to final cut, but he didn't make it. He said I wasn't aggressive enough on D. What does he mean? Sylvia, if somebody looks you in your face and says something to you, you don't know what it means. Why would you walk away without asking them and then go ask me to explain that man's words? Go ask him. Vladimir posted another question. Vladimir, any questions you got, post them all in one comment and pick your best question and post just that one. Don't post 10 different questions. You've been doing this every week, so I'm not going to address any more of your questions. Pick your best question that you can come up with once a week. Saraku, same thing. Fat Boy Live says, in your summer tape in the comments, someone asked you how much points you average, and I said 2 points per game, which is a tongue-in-cheek thing. Hopefully I know what that means. And he says, I refuse to believe that someone as good as you only averages 2 points per game. Were you joking or were you serious? Next question. Naya Makusa says, when you were a kid, did you play basketball in cold, rainy weather? Yeah, inside. If it was cold or rainy, well, if it's cold, then you can still go outside and play. It's just a matter of you playing through the cold. Now, in the rain, I never played basketball in the rain. GZ Dog says, how do you control your attitude when you constantly get fouled hard? Such people say in general, I have an attitude like young Kobe. So that's why he's on the bench. How does he fix that? Well, GZ, I can't tell you how to think. I can't tell you how to conduct yourself. If you get fouled hard, you keep playing. A foul is a part of the basketball. A foul is a part of the game of basketball. It's a contact sport. So if you don't like getting fouled, you shouldn't be playing basketball. Travis Ryan says, who I think will win the slam dunk contest at the All-Star game and the All-Star game. As far as the game itself, who cares? The game is usually very anticlimactic. As far as the dunk contest, I'll tweet out Saturday night. When the contest is about to happen, I'll say who I think's going to win. I ain't really thinking about it yet. Today's Friday. So follow me on Twitter, Dre all day, and I'll be constantly tweeting through All-Star Weekend as I watch the events. Fat Boy again. Same thing. Pick your best question and post that. Don't just post 10 random dumbass questions just because you know I'm going to answer them or you think I will. Devin Thomas says, I am his idol. I appreciate that, Devin. Hopefully I can keep doing good things to remain in that position. Donald Gillespie says, I'm a right-handed player, but I shoot with my left hand. Okay. When it comes to dribbling and finish around the rim, of course, he uses his right hand more often. His left hand is useless unless he's shooting from 5 feet and out. Could I recommend one of my programs of signature workers to help him with his left hand and right hand around the rim and on the floor? Well, the thing is, Donald, if you want to get better using your left hand, you just got to start using it. You got to make a conscious decision to practice the thing that you want to get better at. It's not about a program or a book or a video telling you to do it. It's about you making a conscious decision to do it. If you want to work on your offhand, check out the left/weak hand hoop handbook. Is part 1 and part 2. So, and that could be for anybody. So even if you're left-handed, all you gotta do is take all the drills in that program and switch them to your right hand. So anybody out there who has one hand that's very dominant over the other, or a hand that's not as skilled as their other hand, get that left/weak hand hoop handbook part 1 and part 2. As far as signature workout programs, any one of them is the same thing. Like, you want to work on your left hand, how about James Harden? He's a left-handed player. A lot of stuff using the non-dominant hand in that program. Steve Nash is another one. Kyrie Irving is another one. Steph Curry, LeBron James, a lot of programs that I made that use a lot of non-dominant hand stuff because I'm doing my best to envision the way that those players play when I made those programs. The Damn Davis says, in my opinion, what is working smart? In my opinion, what does it mean to work smart? It just means to be efficient, make efficient use of your time and energy and focus. And he says, if I can meet Michael Jordan, what would I ask him to improve my game? I probably wouldn't ask him nothing about improving my game. I might ask him something else. I don't know what. Canon Chiu says, Should he get the Steve Nash signature workout program or Tony Parker or something else? He's not as athletic as others on his team, but he's a good shooter / passer, and he likes driving to the basket. Cannon, I don't think you can go wrong with either one, Steve Nash, Tony Parker. Go to the Hoop Handbook website, read the program descriptions of each player's program, and decide which one works best for you. Maybe eventually you'll be able to get both. So pick one. You can't go wrong with either one. Results guaranteed. Daniel Borgas. He says, how can I get my dad to let me buy the jump manual? He says he thinks that things like that are a scam, but I know that yours isn't. Well, Daniel, if he thinks it's a scam and he says he's not going to buy it, then it's pretty much not much more you can do. Number one thing you can do is go earn some money yourself and buy it yourself, so then you don't have to get anyone's approval. That's what I think number one thing you can do is that's the number one thing you control. You can't really control what he thinks, no matter what you say. Shaolin Patel says, if I was to start a pickup game with 5 NBA players, who would I like on my team? I've already covered this in several videos, my top 5 all-time favorite players, so look back in my old videos and you'll see that. Young Slay says, he starts his comment with please help in all capital letters and 10 exclamation points. So let's see what he needs help with. He says, I'm tuning into your videos to give me motivation. He's from Fort Lauderdale. He used to smoke a lot. He's trying to get back in shape to play ball. He want to know if I knew anyone in his shoes that's where I am now. No, I don't. How much is it to try out? And do I have any videos on becoming a better defender? I don't know what he means by how much is it to try out. He doesn't say for what. And becoming a better defender, yes. On my channel, go to playlist. I have an entire playlist of defensive videos, drills, tips, and game footage. So yes, I do have that. Also, the defense mini hoop handbook at hoophandbook.com. Also got that. Oh, and then he says, how much is it to try out for the D-League? Young Slay, I don't work for the D-League, nor do I represent nor speak for them. If you want to know anything about the D-League, go to their website and look it up. You're on the internet already. And he says, do you need to play high school or college ball? Again, go to the D-League website. He says, and then he ends it with, please help me. Well, Slay, I gave you all the information you need. You're a grown man. Now it's time for you to help yourself. Next question. Mr. Splashman. He says there's certain body fat percentage you need to be below for the jump manual to work. Well, the jump manual is a program. Programs don't work. Understand this about programs. Don't blame the program. If you do a program and you don't get the results you want, it's not the program's fault. A program is nothing but a set of instructions. Okay? A program does not do any work. If you put a program down on the table and you go away for a year and come back, that program is still going to be sitting right there doing nothing. All right? People work. If you do the jump manual and you get results, don't say the jump manual worked. Say you worked following the jump manual and you got results. All right? So the jump manual does not work or not work. And to answer your question, no. There's no certain body fat percentage you need to be under. That doesn't actually make any sense, Mr. Splashman. You probably need to do some research on what body fat percentage means and understand that everyone's body is different. So it's not about any certain body fat percentage. It's just about you getting the program and following the instructions as they are told to you. The results are guaranteed. Next question. Big Money Luke says, should you ever adjust your layup to the guy behind you, or should you just finish strong? Big Money Luke, his question don't really make sense. When you're on the court, you adjust to the situation in front of you. You can't plan it out. You can't think about it. When you drive into the basket and you in the air for a layup and somebody's behind you maybe trying to block it, you ain't going to have time to think about what I said to you on YouTube. You're going to have to adjust in the moment if you need to and finish the shot. How do you get to the point where you can adjust without having to think about it? You guessed it. Work on your fucking game and play a lot, so that you have feel and instinct for the game. You want to improve your game IQ or your feel, your instinct, you have to play. You're not gonna develop basketball IQ watching YouTube or reading books or looking at somebody else play basketball or talking about it. You get that from playing. The only way you develop it is from getting experience. The only way you'll know is by living it. Next question. Jay Chill says, how do you prepare for freshman year in high school and going for varsity in your first year? How do you prepare? If you want to be on a basketball team, you should prepare by practicing. Chicken Dance 16 says, how tall was I when I was in high school? I don't know. The Gameizan says, I was wondering how much it costs to play AAU basketball for 8th grade. He's Googled information on it for days now, but he's not found a valid or trustworthy answer. What do you have to pay for if you make the team? There are not a lot of people that play AAU that I know of. Well, first of all, the game is on. I didn't play AAU either, so I'll probably be the worst person to ask this question. But let me address some other things you talk about here. You said you've Googled information on it for days, so you spent days with an S Googling information and you couldn't find it. How many pages exactly of results did you look through? You've been Googling for days. That means you've been looking through hundreds and not thousands of pages of information, and you couldn't find. He said he hasn't found a valid or trustworthy answer. What do you deem valid or trustworthy? How do you know? You don't know the answer, so how do you know if it's valid or trustworthy? That doesn't make any sense. Why don't you find an AAU team you want to play for? You say you're talking about 8th grade. All right, so you're in 8th grade. All right, so you're probably just exaggerating the amount of effort you put into this. There's no way you've been Googling for days and days. That makes no sense. Why don't you call the team that you want to play for and ask them? I'm sure they'll give you an answer. And if you make the team, they'll tell you. Worst case scenario, you make the team and you can't pay for it, then you just won't play. What will you have lost by doing that? Nothing at all. So you're doing all this worrying for no reason whatsoever. Much ado about nothing. Isaiah Kelly says, how do I contribute to a travel team where most of the players are better than me? Isaiah, what you need to do is keep showing up every day and playing against those players who are better than you, getting your ass kicked until you stop getting your ass kicked. That's how you can contribute. If you want to get better, you want to know what you need to get better at, ask them. You playing on the team with them, talk to them. That's what they're there for. Talk to them, ask them, yo, what can I get better at? Yo, can you show me how you do this? Yo, can you give me some tips on this that you do well? Yo, can you play me one-on-one? Yo, can we come early and work out? Yo, can we stay late and get some shots up? Whatever. Take advantage of the situation that you're in. You got a great opportunity. You're playing with players who are better than you. That's how you're going to get better. It's a golden opportunity for you. You need to take advantage of it. Keep showing up. Don't quit. Naya Mukasa says, am I going to do a Nick Young Hoop Handbook signature workout in the future? Wow. Naya, don't hold your breath for a Nick Young workout program. David Delgado. He says, I just want to say, Dre, you're a real dude, and I fucks with him, or I fucks with you. I appreciate that, David. Brian Vargas says, have I ever got mad at my defender? Yeah, when I get mad at my defender, I just start fucking him up. Not physically, but actually in the game. Joe Hindley says, on the packages, Hoop Handbook packages, the point guard package, and the Get Buckets package, which is for point guards, and the Scorers package, and also the Signature Workouts Complete package and the Reloaded package. He says, will they last forever? Is there a limited time to get the offer? Joe, I can't really answer that. I might wake up tomorrow and decide to not have the packages anymore. So if you want to get them, the best time is now. What you waiting for? Sam Best says, what team did you enjoy being a part of the most? What did my stats look like on that team? Sam, you should read my book. It's called Buy a Game. It's the first book I ever wrote, and it is completely free. It is at dreallday.com/buy-a-game. That's buy, B-U-Y, as in buy something from the store. Buy a game. dreallday.com/buy-a-game, where I answer that question in detail. James Vincent says, have you ever been thrown out of an organized basketball game by the referees? Absolutely. Rec league game, not college or pro game, but a rec league game. Absolutely been thrown out. Actually, I think I got thrown out of one pro game, maybe in Mexico. I don't remember. Rudolph, Lakers forever. He says, how can I focus on my grades? He said, how can I focus on my grades? You just do it. You're asking me to tell you how to focus on your grades. You already know what you want to do, so what's stopping you from doing it? Nothing. He says he's a hell of a ball player. He has game, but he got kicked off his team because of his GPA. Well, then whatever you did to become a hell of a ball player, Rudolph, you need to do that to become a hell of a student. So apply the same principles. Muha Leesday says, who I got winning the skills challenge, slam dunk, three-point shooter, all-star game, all-star weekend. I already addressed that. Follow me on Twitter, and I'll tweet what I think is going to happen and my opinions and whatever on Twitter. Y'all know Twitter, you just throw shit out there that you're thinking. So that's what I'll be doing this all-star weekend on Twitter. My name is Dre All Day. And Keithacious Barrow, Keithacious, says, when am I going to Verse 1 Federation. I'm never going to Verse 1 Federation. They want to set up a game between me and their top player in my height division, the way that they do it. I put a video out about that on, this video will be out on Saturday, so that video came out on Thursday. So you go to my channel, you'll see the video right there, or it came out on Thursday. Also tweeted out the link, also posted it on Facebook. Facebook.com/workonyourgame is my page. Twitter is Dre All Day. And I told everybody in detail what's happening, how, when, where, why, who, and all that shit. Saul Rosales says, are you a sneakerhead? I am absolutely not a sneakerhead. Jesus Imani says, any tips on getting scouted next year in high school? I already know how I'm going to answer this, but let's read the rest of his question. He says, I'm a sophomore on varsity. He's averaging 18.5 points, 3.7 rebounds, 6.3 assists, and 4.9 steals a game. Jesus, if those are your real stats, you keep doing that and you'll get scouted with no problem. You don't need to do nothing extra. Kobe Bryant. This guy's name is Kobe Bryant. He says, I'm in 8th grade soon. My playoffs are close. I'm 5'1". Do I know what type of workouts without weights to strengthen his upper body and overall strength? Well, Kobe, if the playoffs are about to come, you're not just going to become strong in a week. That's not how strength works. It's going to take you 30 to 90 days to get real results as far as strength. But if you have the foresight and the discipline to get to work on it now to get the results later in the long term, then you should look at the Ultimate Athlete Program at hoophandbook.com. It's written by my trainer. She's a certified strength and conditioning coach, and that program requires no weights, no equipment, no gym. You can do it in your living room. You can do it in the basement. And what else is I going to say about that program? It's a 15-week program. Robbie D7 says, what shoes do I wear off the court? Off the court, well, I live in sunny Miami, Florida, so it's usually warm here. Usually I got on some like sandals, some slides, like some Nike slides, something like that. Otherwise, I put a video out about this. I wear the KDs, a few pairs of KDs I got at the Summer Series event in Brooklyn last year, maybe some Nike Air Force Ones. That's pretty much it. Ali Foyer says, I'm not in the gym working on my game. What do I like to do? Any hobbies and interests outside other areas? Somebody asked me this last week. I like to read, I like to write, I watch sports. Those are probably the top 3 things I do. Coach Alex Mastro. So it's my favorite number to wear when I play on a team. Somebody's asked me this already. I have no preference. Daniel Jean says, I'm a natural scorer when it comes to shooting mid-range and three-pointers, but when it comes to driving, he's not sure if he should bump into other players to draw contact or let them bump me. Well, when you get into a game, you won't have time to think about it. Keep playing, develop some feel, instinct, learn the game, and you'll figure that out to the point where you won't have to think about it or talk about it. Because he didn't actually ask me a question. It was just a statement. Adrian Morales says, do I hate when people ask dumb questions? No, there's very few things I actually hate. People do ask dumb questions. We just dismiss it. Eric G says, do I think I'm better than Brian Scalabrine? No. Just like I said before, Brian Scalabrine played in the league. I didn't. Finest9906 says, what is your goal? When I say that, what's the purpose of making these videos? Everything you do, what drives you to keep doing it? Being me is my goal. Being me to the fullest. That's my goal. That's what drives me. David John, you already asked the question, David. Stefan Rasievich says, have I noticed that my vertical jump speed or explosiveness is decreasing with age? Eventually that's going to happen. The thing is, as you get older, it's not that you immediately lose it. It's just that you got to work harder and do more stuff to maintain it. It means you got to pay more attention to what you eat, when you train, how often you train, how you train, and how you take care of your body, recovery, as far as stretching, foam rolling, stuff like that. It just takes more work to maintain it as you get older. Eventually, once you get like to the mid-30s, I'm 32, so maybe 2 years, there will be a noticeable decrease, but it's more now, it's just more work to maintain it. Johnny Adane says, happy B-Day. B-Day was 2 weeks ago, but thanks. He loves my video. He says, how do you dance with the basketball? When to dribble the basketball? Johnny, I guess by dance he means like doing moves and stuff with the ball. There is no how to. Just fucking do it. You already know what it means, so what's stopping you from doing it? You don't need nobody to tell you how to do it. Just do it. develop some game, develop some handles, what you need to do. Look at the signature handles bundle at hoophandbook.com. That's the new DVD. The Real is back to Chris Paul's signature workout program and the Kyrie Irving signature workout program. You get all three in that bundle. Martin Ivanov, what kind of questions would I like to be asked so that I don't answer everything? Depends on your individual things. Well, Martin, first of all, I don't answer everything that way, but a lot of people ask me a lot of questions as if there's a general answer that applies to everyone, and that's not the case. Almost everything in life what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of the word that I'm looking for. Basically, there are no certain questions I want to be asked. If I was determining what the questions were, it would be no point in me making these videos, because then I could just say it instead of making people ask me the questions, like pre-writing the questions. You ask me a question that could apply to your individual situation, which many people do, as you've seen in this video. I answer it individually, but a lot of people ask me a lot of questions that apply as if they apply to everyone when they don't. So Martin, just come up with a good question. If you don't have a good question, just don't leave a comment. You don't have to say something just because I'm answering questions. If you got a question, ask it. If not, just watch the video. You could always email me even if you don't get into the Q&A. Gabriel Adeola says, Zeke from verse 1 called out Professor. Who would I put my money on if that matchup happened? Gabriel, don't take it personal. I don't give a fuck about either one of them. Frosty Brett says, when you make new signature workouts, is my goal to do all-star players in the history of the NBA? No, my goal is to pick players whom I think other players out there would want to develop some skills emulating those players' games. Not necessarily being like them, but skills that they can identify with. So that's what I look for when I decide which players' programs to create. In Production says, what kind of headphones do I wear? Especially the ones in the All Dre All Day channel. That's another channel where I post daily videos. Those are Beats by Dre headphones that I wear. I haven't really tried any other kind, but if somebody's willing to send me some free pairs of headphones, I will definitely wear them, try them out, and I'll even review them on my channel. If they whack, I'm going to tell you they whack. Stan Morisseau says, I work on my game regularly and I study the game of basketball. I'm not being arrogant, but kids at school in parks seem to score more than I do when I know I'm better than them. What mentality or missing piece do I need to perform better than my current situation? Stan, I have made a video addressing directly that situation. It is called Working on the Mental Game, Getting Yourself. If you actually look at my mental game / motivation playlist, where I've addressed that question, you also go to my website, dreallday.com. Click on the page that says skills at the top navigation, which says skills, and I have a page about that, the mental game. Go to the page called the mental game, and I have a bunch of videos addressing this exact topic. Kendall Smith says, why am I bald headed? I actually have hair. People thinking I'm bald headed. Can't y'all see the hair there? It's really light, but there is hair there. I'm not completely bald. I don't use a razor to cut my hair. I use clippers. They just cut really close. Raw fan. But once my hair starts to go, I think I will eventually start to become bald, because somebody told me that actually male baldness comes from your mother's side of the family, not your father's. And my dad didn't lose his hair, but all the men on my mom's side of the family, they did. They either going bald or they have gone bald, so that means I'm going to. So once that starts to happen, it'll be shaved. It'll be a straight razor. But since people think I'm bald already, y'all won't even know the difference. Raw fan says, Dre Baldwin, I have a problem with eating healthy. I weigh 59 kilograms and I'm in grade 10. I want to eat healthy, but all the healthy food tastes bad. Do I know how I can ignore the smell, the taste of the food and just eat it? Do I know how you can? Just do it. You just explain what you need to do, so do it. A lot of people ask me questions like this, like, yo, somebody will say something like, yo, I want to work out 3 times a day. How can I do it? Do it. You already explained. You already know exactly what you need to do. You don't need me to tell you anything. Just fucking do it. What is stopping you from doing the thing that you are already describing? Nothing at all. One thing you can do, raw fan, if you don't think the food tastes good, I mean, you can work on seasoning the food. Use Google, go look up some recipes and shit. I ain't no cook, but you can look it up. There's plenty of people out there who share a lot of that information. So you can find ways to season it to make it taste to your liking, whatever it is that you like. But there's nothing stopping you from eating healthy. You using these weak excuses. The only thing stopping you is you. You are your number one problem, not the food. Nick Leather says, I was thinking about getting the jump manual. That question got posted twice. Javion Fuller says, what age did I start dunking? How tall was I? I was 16 when I first dunked. I don't know how tall I was. I can't guess because then I'd be lying to you. Then the information would be useless. Fat Boy Live. He asked me a whack question. I'm not addressing that. The game is on. Same thing I told a couple other people. Find your best question. I haven't seen anybody here post more than one question where they were all good questions. Ask your best question that you can come up with. All right, don't just post a bunch of questions because you think I'm going to address every little thing you can come up with. One good question, please. D-Flash3 says, I want to change my shooting form from my waist area to near my head like NBA players. But I don't have enough power yet to make long-range shots. Anything I can do to be able to change my shot and hit long-range shots? Well, first thing, D-Flash, you didn't ask me how you should shoot, so I'm not going to address the way that you want to shoot. That's how you want to shoot, fine. There's nothing stopping you. You already know exactly the way you want to shoot. I just talked about this 2 minutes ago. You already described to me exactly the way you want to shoot. What do I need to tell you for you to do it? You already described it in detail, exactly how you want to shoot. You don't need anybody to tell you how to do it. You already know how to do it, so go do it. Go start practicing it until you get it right. As far as long-range shots, you need to develop overall strength. There's not any one certain drill, no certain muscle, no certain exercise that's going to make you start hitting long-range shots. For the time being, in the immediate future, stop shooting them because you're not going to make them. You're not helping your team. You're not helping yourself by shooting shots that you just told me that you can't make. Work on your overall strength. Y'all got a strength training playlist here on YouTube. I got an abs core playlist, and I also got the Ultimate Athlete programs, 15 weeks at hoophandbook.com. and a 10-week program called a Position of Power for strength training. So you need to develop your total body strength. You want to shoot basketballs from further and further away from the basket. Next question. Rashab Merotra says, do I think I'm more athletic, stronger, faster than any NBA players? Am I close to making a collaboration video with any channel, or I haven't found anyone yet? Do I think I'm more athletic, stronger, faster than any NBA players? Of course. I played with a bunch of them, so of course there are physical advantages that some players have over others that I have over other players, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm better than them, as I said in my principle earlier, which I don't have to keep repeating. And he says, am I close to making a YouTube collaboration with the channel? Rashad, I got a whole playlist of collaboration videos I've done with channels on YouTube. A couple I did: Devin Williams, Kick Genius, Nightwing, Former Simpson, Brandon Carter, Verse 1 Federation, and I think there's a few others I'm not thinking of off the top of my head. But go to my channel, go to the playlist, see Q&A videos, see collaborations. I did those already. Brandon Sela says, I have a team full of selfish players. I try to tell them to move the ball, but they rather go down the court and shoot their own shot. He told the coach, but he doesn't understand or address the situation. What do I do? Brandon, you control yourself. You can't control them. You can't control the coach. And if the situation is so unbearable, just leave that team and go play for somebody else. Those are your two choices. Victor Mwamba says, what's the highest amount of points scored? High school, college, overseas? High school, most I scored probably like 4 points. If you read my book, Buy a Game, DreAllDay.com/buy-a-game, I address that. College, most I had in college, let me think. I don't know, my freshman year they didn't keep stats like on the internet and all that stuff. This is before everything was online. Probably like 30 in college. And overseas, the most I ever had, if you want to call Mexico overseas, even though you don't actually have to go over a sea to get there, I had 39, I think is the most I ever had in a pro game. Eli Classfield says, can you get to college when you're 20 or 21 years old because he moved to a new country and still play basketball? If I don't know, it's cool. Well, Eli, it depends on what level of college you want to play, whether it's NCAA, NAIA, JUCO college, and any one of those levels that you want to go to and play. What you need to do is contact the school that you want to play for and talk to their compliance people. Those are the people who determine whether you have the grades, whether you had the eligibility to actually play sports at that school. So whatever school you want to go to, you need to contact them and get that information. which is probably on the internet. You probably wouldn't even have to talk to nobody. The information is all free, online, available to you. Nothing stopping you from knowing, except, well, now that you know that information is available, now you have no excuses but to go find it. Joshua King Batsios. Do I think college coaches take highlights of video playing ball in Norway seriously, or should he consider being an exchange student in the USA would be better? Now, Joshua, that's a tough question because I don't know you, I don't know your situation, and nor do I want to accept the responsibility for determining your future. You really would have to decide that yourself. Do I think college coaches would take the highlights seriously? Yes. If you can play, they're going to take you seriously. If you can't play, they're not going to take you seriously. It has nothing to do with you being in Norway. If you're good, by their determination, that is, whoever's watching the video, one coach might think you're a superstar, another coach might think you're a bum. If they think you're good, they're going to take you seriously. If they think you're not, they won't. So I don't think whether you're in the USA or not matters. If you got game, you got game, no matter where you're from. Of course, you know about European players who made it to the United States playing college or NBA basketball. As far as which one you're going to do, that's something that you're going to have to figure out for yourself. This is your life. You got to live it. That's a big decision, so you need to make it and then live with your choice. State of Nate. Have your parents been there for you, or you supported all through your basketball career? Well, if you read my book, Buy a Game, at dreallday.com/buy-a-game, B-U-Y-A game, I wasn't that big of a basketball star. It wasn't like, I wasn't the type of guy, when I got out of high school, there was nobody who looked at me and said, yo, that guy's going to be a professional player, or he's going to make a brand or a name for himself from playing basketball. Nobody thought that. So it wasn't like people was like, no, you're not going to make it, but it wasn't like no big deal. People wasn't looking at me and saying, oh, he's a basketball player. It wasn't like that. I kind of self-made myself. My parents didn't discourage me or nothing like that. They supported anything I did, but it wasn't like they was driving me back and forth to practices and nothing like that, as I wasn't on that many teams. So read my book and you'll get more information. All right, only a few questions left. Stone Pinto says he likes what I'm doing on my channel. I'm helping take his game to the next level. Glad to hear that, Stone. I appreciate you sharing. Adam says you're doing a great job making these vids. He's learned a lot. Thank you, Adam. All right, 2 more questions left. Old Joker says, I practice a lot. My skills don't translate over to a game. He believes it's due to a fact that he doesn't have access to a gym. He practices on cement with a cheap 10-foot goal that has a plastic background. Any suggestions or tips? All right, Old Joker, let's address this piece by piece. First of all, if you play good in practice but not in the game, as I addressed earlier in this video, so someone else's question, go to my website, dreallday.com. Click the link that says guides and tips, where I have written out pages where I address this exact question. I play good in practice, or I play good by myself, but I don't play good in games or against other people. I address that. As far as the next thing, you say he believes due to the fact that he doesn't have access to a gym. Oh, Joker, that is complete 100% bullshit. It has nothing to do with it. I didn't have access to a gym till I was like 19 in college, and I developed a lot of game from the time I started playing until the time I got to college, because I wouldn't have made the team in college without the development that I got from playing outside, practicing outside on concrete by myself year after year up until that point when I got on the team and did have regular access to a gym. So it has nothing to do with it. That's complete bullshit. Don't ever say that again. And don't nobody else say that shit neither. He says he practices on cement. That doesn't matter. Outside, that doesn't matter. With a cheap 10-foot goal. All goals are 10 feet. So that doesn't matter either. Has a plastic backboard. That doesn't matter either. Do I have any suggestions or tips on what? I already gave you the suggestion on where to go on my website. Other than that, you don't need any more tips. Oh, the other tip you need is stop making weak-ass excuses. All right. Weak excuses make you weak. D. Provoto says, I need help with rebounding. I am in middle school. I'm short. I'm 5 feet tall. But is there a way I can get better at getting rebounds or loose balls? And then he says, no homo at the end. Please, don't ever, no homo and pause and all that bullshit. I'm a grown-ass man. We don't need none of that around here. D. Provoto says, all right, so he needs help with rebounding. Boxing out is the #1 thing you need to do. If you want to learn how to box out, I don't think I made any tutorials on boxing out. Maybe I'll do that. maybe, but don't hold your breath on it. Box out. And the number one thing, even more than that, is like Charles Barkley said. Someone asked Charles Barkley, because he was one of the best rebounders in the league. Charles Barkley's only like 6'4", 6'5", but he was averaging over 10 rebounds a game in the NBA, led the league a time or two. And someone asked him, what is his rebounding philosophy? He didn't say nothing about positioning or reading the ball off the rim or boxing out or technique. He didn't say none of that. He said, my philosophy is go get the damn ball. That's your philosophy. So if you need... He says, is there a way for him to get better at getting loose balls? Go get the ball. I mean, you know what the goal is. Get the ball. You see a loose ball, go get it. I don't know what kind of tips or information you would need on that. And as far as rebounding, go get the damn ball. You see the rebound, somebody miss, go get the ball. You 5 feet tall, so you might not get that many rebounds. I mean, that's just the fact. That's just the facts of the situation. But if you improve your desire, which is just will, or want to get the ball, then you'll go get it. That's it. All right, y'all, that's all the questions. February 14th, this video will be up on February the 15th. And if you have any, excuse me, good questions, leave them in the comments to this video. And hopefully I don't have to keep saying this, but when you see questions in the comments to this video, do not come in here and respond to the questions, then I'm going to have to block you off this channel. Somebody did that for these questions I'm reading. I had to block their ass. I don't know who it was. It doesn't matter. But don't do that. Leave questions here. One question, and you got multiple questions, think of the best one out of all of them and leave it there. If you have multiple questions and you think they're all good questions, you can send me an email, my contact information, or you can just use the contact button on my website, dreallday.com. I think that's pretty much it. You know, happy Valentine's Day to everybody out there. Enjoy All-Star Weekend. By the time you watch this, All-Star Weekend is in full swing. That's that. Work on your game. Well, yeah, let me know what y'all think about their merchandise, the shirts, the logos, the hats, all that. Work on your game. DreAllDay.com.
Yo, what up? It's Big Brandon Carter from Highlight Workout. Work on your game.